So we're popping in for another quick chat segment, this time with Ryan and Aaron from Witch of the Vale. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me for this. So Witch of the Vale is such an interesting dark sound. Where does the inspiration come from to create it, and how do you go about it?
So the actual sound we kind of go about by stretching out a lot of drones, Celtic-y vibe, Scottish kind of, almost like chanters and things. The inspiration, I think, mostly comes from your kind of inputs, the actual, slowing everything down and adding, this. Every track has to be darker. No, this needs to sound darker. This is too happy sounding. Let's wreck it and kind of, drop it right down, make it deeper and slower. It came from a place of wanting to hear, that songs, making songs that we would like to hear, I guess.
Yeah, like that. I think that rendering of me was was interesting. I hope that wasn't too much of a caricature. Like, this is too happy. We need to make it sad. But I think there's, like, when we first started kind of doing music together, I think it was starting from more of a place of maybe more of your sort of traditional sort of kind of electronic-y, industrial-y kind of music, and I would kind of sit down to try and kind of get involved in that and write lyrics around it, and it's just that this just isn't the right sound. So I think that's what you mean by the kind of slowing down, and it needs to be darker, it needs to be slower paced and stuff. So, but yeah, there is, I think, as well, like that kind of Celtic inspiration as well throughout our music.
Maybe your inherent kind of dislike of us using a lot of drums, especially things like hi-hats, which are also very prominent. A lot of songs in EBM start with the and then build from there. And if we've got no hi-hats at all, then we have to find other sounds to kind of fill that upper space, like hissing and,
Yeah.
No cymbals allowed. Well, very rarely. Only reverse cymbals. I quite like them.
Yeah, it gets you creative though, and thinking of other ways to fill that top space with,
Yeah, just creating a different sound. Because I remember the first time I saw your beat camps in Manchester, it was completely different to anything I expected, and I got a little bit obsessed and was really cool.
That was a good night, lads. Such a good lineup.
It was amazing. Yeah, I was working on the door a lot of it, and I was like, I want to see what's going on.
Oh no.
Yeah, so the single Commemorate that came out in the summer, I love that. It's just huge, and there were such varied remixes on top as well, and we've been playing the sardonic one quite a lot on our show because it's just a really interesting way of introducing to it. And so I was wondering if you could say a bit about that, and I see you've got an album release coming up soon as well.
The Commemorate was like that because a lot of our music is quite I think mellow for the genre and for the scene, and so actually in quite a lot of our writing process it'll be dialogues of, can we do something heavier, can we do something a little bit more that's maybe going to be more accessible for different parts of the scene, more accessible for club, to be played in clubs and stuff. So that was some of the energy behind writing of Commemorate. So yeah, it felt like the kind of perfect, and the fact that it's a title track it's the title track of the album. I don't know if that's context. So the album's called Commemorate, and yeah, it felt like it was maybe it was kind of the right track to utilize for remixes and stuff. Which I love both of the remixes. I like them better than our song as well.
I feel they each have something really different. It must be really great to work with like big names on the scene as well.
Yeah, well, Joss of Grenville just recently moved to Glasgow, so it was one of those really nice organic situations where we were just in that wee window where you were allowed to go to other people's houses in lockdown. We went to not a party, but a kind of a dinner party, and met Joss and got talking, and that was how the Grenville remix came about. So it was quite nice. It's not all just cold messaging random artists that you like. It was nice to actually meet someone.
And we met Zardonic at Infest, and yes, such a nice guy. Actually, I didn't know he was the artist. I was talking to the guy for hours. I didn't know he was performing. I just
very humble dude.
Yeah, he's really humble and really polite, and and then he got on the stage and he was this
madman.
This mad beast, huge kind of with the mask and the Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he seemed like a really good choice to, for a remix, because we wanted something different. You don't want someone to remix one of your songs into one of your other songs. You want something, you want to push the genre and the boundaries.
Yeah, and I guess sort of also get other people like see your music as well when they're made by those names. So obviously you did a lockdown unplugged session in June, which is awesome. How have you found connecting to people through music during this year?
We've been kind of crap at it, I think.
We've been disconnected rather than connect.
We've been disconnected. Yeah, we're quite insular people, and like that. If we, when everybody else was being quite, adaptable and sort of, spreading their wings in the online world and doing lots of live streams and stuff, we were very like, what we can do. Because we just didn't feel that the way that we perform would really translate us doing it in our living room. It just feels a bit, so we had to get off of that, I think. I don't know, over that obstacle in our minds. And it was nice to be invited to Beat Cancer, because it just felt like, oh yeah, let's just do it, we have to do it. But yeah, besides that, we only really have done the unplugged live stream, and that was the compromise. That was a feeling of, if we did it in this format, it would feel more natural, it would feel better. But yeah, it's quite hard for us to connect, because we're also not the kind of artists that are very user person. I don't know, like we don't kind of do the vlogging thing, or kind of I don't know what the kind of social media. We're not huge social media people, really. So connecting is a little bit difficult, I think. I don't know what you think.
I think musically, like, rather than connecting with people, trying to get people to feel what we're feeling with the music, we'd rather that they take it and make it theirs and feel what they want to feel, have their own journey with it, rather than a shared, something like an individual thing.
For sure.
Take it yours.
It's always interesting to see different sides of it. So thank you so much for dropping in and having a chat with us. So where can people find you music-wise, and like more information about when we finally get to see performances live again one day?
Yeah, so we like that. You can find us on the album's going to be released on Bandcamp on the 10th of December. It will be released on streaming platforms on the 15th.
I think the 15th, yeah.
So yeah, we're on all the usual streaming platforms. We're on Bandcamp and stuff. We have all the usual social media platforms. People can find us there. In terms of plans for shows, when eventually that becomes a reality, we've when's the Birthday Massacre?
It's late September, is it?
Yeah, I think it's September.
It's late next year.
in that sort of, in the window of, it still looks like a possibility.
Yeah, so we should be supporting the Birthday Massacre in their upcoming UK tour next year, which is kind of later on in the year. So hopefully the world is maybe, or at least the music world is maybe returned to a semblance of normality by then.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. So yeah, thank you for stopping in to having a chat with us, and yeah, trying to find it. Thank you.